So when I have the opportunity to represent a private practice as a group, but then certain doctors within that group are more frustrated than others, there's also potentially an opportunity to advocate for those individual docs within the private practice. I will typically do one or the other. So I don't want to have a conflict of interest. So if an individual doctor or a group of doctors wants for me to represent their interests on their behalf and they're part of a private practice, I will absolutely help them do that. If a group wants me to represent their contract with a hospital or hospitals around town, I will do that as well, but typically not both at the same time, because that would represent, I believe, a conflict of interest. Not that I haven't seen that situation just yet, but that's how my mind kind of, brings a dichotomy to that situation. I would do one or the other probably. So a similar situation in my city where I had done some education for a group of doctors, and there's a doctor who's similar, OBGYN. These are subspecialists, like she's, I think, maternal fetal medicine, MFM, and they have not had salary raises in 10 years. So they were making as much today as they were making in 2014, which is just criminal, but they're not doing anything about it, so who can you really blame? So I met up with her and we talked, and she told me all the things that were wrong and how she was so frustrated. And I said, well, all you have to do is stand up and say, hey, we deserve a little bit better. And her response to me was, well, what if they don't give us more? Well, they're not giving me more in the last 10 years, so it couldn't be worse than that. But so many doctors, it goes back to that self-esteem piece, so many doctors don't believe they deserve it. And so doctors are continually being underpaid. As I mentioned, they have this tolerance for pain and discomfort that they won't ask for help until it's forced on them. Here's a quick story that I wasn't planning on telling, but